In our lives lately, I think there are two things happened that changed, that somehow made our everyday life and our being a little bit different. The first thing, it was this mass movement of refugees, we call it Balkan route, and it started in 2015. It lasted quite a long time. And the second thing is the space we are now. It's one of the biggest squads in Central Europe. It's called ROC, and it was violently, there was a violent eviction try from the municipality side. So we defended this space. Why we had these two big events that changed somehow, maybe not whole society, but certainly one part of it, is that we received a lot of new friends. Our families become bigger. We had to change our normal habits, and we had to fight for the space. So in June 2016, we fought for our second home. We say it, this is our big autonomous factory Rogue. And inside of this autonomous factory, we also fought and struggled for a smaller space that we gave to our new friends, refugees from Middle East and Asia. It was a big fight because I think that in our society, we were not ready to react to the needs. So it was a little bit difficult to persuade our comrades in the beginning to do something very quickly without thinking so long. And but you know, it wasn't always easy. So we also used some, I would say, violent methods to come to the point. And the very instinctive part of the struggle, it went forward. So we don't regret our decision. We are very actually happy that after a long time, we have in Ljubljana a very good self-organized refugee community space. And this community space is the result of the Balkan route and of their fight, because they managed to open the borders. They started moving, and our European countries, they were forced to open a little bit. So this river, it just came to us, and we had to deal with it. You can deal with this river in two ways. You just block the river, or you let the river to go on, and we did it. This the second one we chose. It's a very touching experience. Me personally, I changed a lot because in last 2 years, definitely, literally 2 years, we are living differently. We are not sacrificing our lives for the sake of somebody else. For us, it's a very clear political statement that we should show our solidarity on one hand, and on the other side, the problems that refugees are facing are also the problems of the new generations of Slovenians after the collapse of Yugoslavia. You know, after 25 years of transition, we are at the point that we could say that all of us, we are refugees, you know, exploited. They took our dignity, they privatized everything, they robbed the country, you know, and they are putting young people in a very precarious conditions. So all these things are equal to refugees. So this is a kind of common point we are trying to find. It's not merely helping refugees, doing something for them. Actually, by helping and by assisting, by building structures, solidarity structures, community spaces, we are making our lives in the future maybe a little bit easier. So this is how we interpret. So the next phase of our struggle will be a working conditions. Now we are struggling to get these people into the system. Once they are into the system, another part of exploitation will appear, and this is our working conditions. We haven't come to this point in Slovenia. Slovenia is a very young country. It has no experience, not a lot, with this melting pot or very multicultural society. It's very young, and whatever we do is Gegendemand. So we don't have plan, we don't have a long-term strategy, but we have a kind of everyday work. Every day we try to answer to certain basic needs, and every day we try to put one brick to this community. So then maybe in the future there will be a big, nice space, you know.